Dean Cain once played Superman in the TV series Lois and Clark, but even a superhero can become distracted, changing his world in just a few minutes.
It happens to the best of us. You turn your head for just a split second and your toddler has taken off. Most of the time, he's within your sight. But that wasn't the case for GMC Way Home.
It is a true story of how one man's life changes forever when his son disappears from his driveway.
It's a nightmare.
It is.
It's so nice to see you, Dean.
It's wonderful to see you.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
This isn't just based on a true story. This literally is the true story. We shot the film at the home where it took place, in front of the family, lived basically in their house. They went on with their lives, but we were shooting in their house in all the locations, and they were watching us film.
Well, we should point out that this is a story of a little boy who disappears, but it ends up with a happy ending.
Yes,
People
and
should
so
know
many
that
of them.
Gave up the ending.
And that's okay. That's okay.
No,
No,
but
it's
as a
true.
parent,
It is.
it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. You have a 10-year-old. It's the most unbelievable feeling of panic. That it's excruciating. But it happens to this man because he's got his priorities all screwed up, doesn't he?
Yeah, Randy Simpkins is a great guy, and I was able to speak with him at length and learn everything about what went on in his head. And he was very involved in his business, and he loved his family, but he sort of took them for granted in a sense. And he just basically neglected his child for a moment.
Just for a moment, he went in to check an email.
Split second. And you know, and he was actually on the set while you were shooting this. Was that intimidating for you?
I mean, the little boy was?
No,
the
both
guy
of them
who
were,
played. They
actually.
both were.
Little boy's not so little anymore, but yeah, Randy was there, and we knew we had a scene right and did a good job with it when you looked behind the camera and Randy was bawling his eyes out. But you were full of all those moments all the time, and it was really tough. I mean, I have, of course, turned my head and looked for my son for a second, and your heart literally stops. You think, did someone take them? Did they get hurt or something happen? You don't know. And this family had the same issue, and then they started looking around. No big deal. We'll find him. He's probably just wandered off here.
He's a toddler. They do that.
Right.
But then, you know,
but after something like that happens, you wonder if people end up changing their behavior really. Sometimes you change for a little while, you know, but you still are the guy on the
fundamentally
BlackBerry.
change it?
Yeah. Does it?
Well, Randy Simpkins fundamentally changed his world, his whole life. He put his family first. He became extremely involved in his community. He became a councilman. He really absolutely, he's at every, I mean, I went to football games with his kids. Because he's there and he's involved in everything, and that's the first thing he talks about. So it really shifted his priorities where they should be, in my opinion.
Well, it's a story also of how a community comes together, right? It does take a village in that sense.
Well, you know, it's great to have friends, and especially when you're riding high and everything's great, but when you need them and truly need them, it's like in A Wonderful Life. We had James Stewart at the end, where they all come together and he doesn't expect it and he's just so vulnerable. That's exactly what happened to these guys, and that's the thing that always chokes me up so much, is that everybody's like, well, little Joseph Simpkins missing? Okay, I'm done with work for the day, let's go. And they just, hundreds of people, the news media, firemen, it was embarrassing for them, but at the same time, it's exactly what they needed.
And you've got a couple of other projects cooking, don't you, Dean? What do you have going on?
I've got a lot happening. Pure Country 2, The Gift, my father and I wrote, that is out now in select cities, and it's a very, very beautiful film. A lot of fun. It's not really a sequel to Pure Country, the first, but it's a beautiful film. Hopefully people get out and see that. I've got 5 Days of August coming out soon, which is a big time feature directed by Rennie Harlan, which he's fantastic, and he took this very, very seriously, because this dealt with the 5-day war between Russia and the Republic of Georgia. Andy Garcia plays Mikhail Saakashvili. I play his American press agent, and we shot that in the Republic of Georgia, right there, and it was intense.
Sounds good.
Well, in the meantime, The Way Home premieres Sunday night and Monday night on GMC, and you can also find it right here in my hot little hand on DVD.
All right, and still to come, ambush makeovers and a special performance from Sugarland. Love them after your local news.